Hi, my name is Randy Malden with Supply Leaders Academy, and what I'd like to chat with you about is how do we build a procurement team? Building a procurement team is essential for today's success in supply chain management because of the diversity of skills required to help manage a supply chain. You have to consider not only the purchasing function, but also sales. How do you work with the sales folks? Marketing. How do you do marketing analysis? Finance. What finance tools can you use to help make a better deal? So by bringing in other people from other specialties into your team, you need to build that team. And that team comes together and helps focus on strategic sourcing for your organization, which research shows that those that manage their supply chain are 73% more profitable than those companies that do not manage their supply chain. I know that sounds amazing, but when you consider not only in my experience, but what I've seen with some of my clients is they experience significant improvement in their costs by managing their costs just by doing supply chain management. And research again shows 73% more profitable than companies that do not manage their supply chain. This is, essential for our success in today's economy, and that keeps us profitable for the long term. So how do we put together a procurement team? We want to put together a team following the method put together by Bruce Tuckman. He proposed this methodology and these concepts back in 1964 in his research, and that research has been built upon and become a foundation for team building and group management. And it goes through 5 phases. The 5 phases are forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjoining. Now this method talks about when you bring a group together, how do they start to interact and start to position themselves, find their niche, find their position within the team, so they start to build together and start to get to this place we call performing, where they're doing everything that they need to do to be successful, and they're focused on the good of the whole, not what's best for the individual. So it's a great place to be, and what we have to get there. When you have these 5 steps, you have to go through all 5 steps, as well as when you bring someone new into your group, you have to go through the steps again. Maybe not as dramatic as when you're first putting the team together, but they still go through this process. And what we're going to do is over the next series of videos, we're going to go through each stage and explain not only what the stage is, what can you expect, but what can you do to get the best result you're looking for in that stage. Specifically in the storming, norming phase, which sets the foundation for performing. Okay, so when you join me in the next video, we're going to start to talk about staffing. Now, staffing is not part of these 5 phases. These 5 phases are part of when you put the group, actually put them all in the same room and start working together. Staffing is when you're selecting your team members and you're bringing them together and you're starting to say, okay, you're on my team, you're on my team. You've assessed the skill sets you need, and we're going to talk about what skill sets you should maybe start to consider in today's modern supply chain. And then bringing those folks together, and then we start this process. So in the next video, let's talk about staffing. Let's have some ideas. These are short videos. And if you start to, have some ideas and some thoughts, or, start to think about these things and add them to your toolkit and kind of figure out, where are you in this process? Where is your team in this process, so that you can start to say, okay, well, if I'm in the forming stage, I'm getting ready to go through the storming phase, what can I do to control this phase in order to make sure that it's a positive outcome and we can quickly move through storming into norming and then performing. So consider that. This is Randy Malden with Supply Leaders Academy. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I look forward to seeing you in the next video when we start to talk about staffing.